Hey, what's happening, guys? It's Sanjoku. It's time to start taking a look at that Denver game. All the shit I've been talking about the past few days and going to the playoffs and all that nonsense. It all comes down to this game. And I said it last night. If everything falls into place and we end up losing this game, I'm going to be so pissed off. Like, so pissed off. And I'm not going to lie, it's starting to settle in. I know a lot of people were talking about it's the last home game in Oakland. And I was like, well, we still got that game in LA. But this could be the last game you see as the Oakland Raiders. And, oh man, it's getting to be tough. I'm not even going to lie to you guys. The emotions that are going to go along with this game. And I know I don't live on the West Coast. I live on the East Coast. But I mean, shit, dude, I've been a Raider fan forever. So I watched them leave Oakland, go to LA. I watched them come back to Oakland. I watched how both those cities responded. And I don't know, when people talk about the Raiders, they're always like, who, the Raiders? But when they talk about other teams, they're like, who, the Baltimore Ravens? They always say the city name first. But the Raiders people never do. It's always just, who, the Raiders? Yeah, because you're talking about the whole damn nation. The Raiders can play anywhere, and their fan base will be there. I trust that they will be there in Vegas. But man, this game is not going to be easy, and this is a game that we have to win. Like, we have to win this game. If you're new to the channel, please do subscribe. I truly do appreciate that. But I'm not going to waste too much time. We're going to jump into this. Because I'll tell you right now, we're a little bit beat up going into this game. There's a few dudes that are truly questionable that I don't know are going to play. And it could really impact us on both sides of the ball. So I'm curious to see how it plays out. Hudson, he's been limited. Gruden made it sound like he's definitely going to be out there. So I'm happy to see that. Incognito could be another scratch. I really want to see him go. I know Good played a hell of a game last week, so I'm not real uncomfortable if he doesn't play. But I'd rather have Richie out there for this game just because there are things that do matter that we win this game, but not too sure about him. Really hoping that he ends up going. Gabe Jackson had a setback at practice. I'm still thinking he's going to be okay. We really need him to play. We cannot be down both of our guards. That will not work. We'll end up getting eaten up, especially with that pass rush they had coming at us. Josh Jacobs, everybody talks about his shoulder. I know he had that illness. He came out, it was something with his skin. I'm not sure exactly what it was. But this game means a lot. This kid is a true baller. He will be out there to play this game. Gruden made it sound like he'll be out there and ready to play for this game. Joyner's one that could be a big loss for us this game. He's not been practicing that calf quad injury. It's really been screwing with him. We might just be resting him all week. Gunther made it sound like he was doing a lot better, but not too sure if he's going to end up being able to play or not. But Gruden did talk about Isaiah Johnson a good bit, so I'm really hoping we get to see him. I know I've been talking about that dude for weeks. That shit has not panned out yet, but I'm really hoping he gets an expanded role this week. We got nothing to lose. Stick him out there, man. Maybe he's another spark, dude. Any kind of little flame we can get going right now, we need it. Trayvon Mullins, shit, dude. We all saw him carted off the field. And they're talking that he might play. I'm not banking on it. I'm not putting any money on it. I do not think he's going to play. I'm going to go ahead and say that right now. It is a very rare situation where you see somebody carted off and they end up coming back the next week. I wish him the best. I am super happy that this dude's a fucking Raider. Want to see him next year. Want to see him show up. I think our defense will be dramatically different. Just getting these injured players back. And then Ty Williams, man. He was just a straight scratch, and then he didn't practice. Still his foot, still messing with him. I will tell you right now, if Williams does not play this game, then our number one receiver is going to, in all actuality, be our number 3, who's Renfro. That shit sucks for us. That is a huge loss. I really don't know if Williams is going to play or not. We really need him to. Even if he doesn't fucking show up and play all out and go 100%, we need something just to break that coverage, because I'll tell you right now, if he doesn't play, Renfro's little ass is going to be getting doubled, and Waller's ass is going to be getting doubled, and they'll just eat it in the run game knowing that they'll be able to outscore us. So we need Ty Williams to play. We need him to play bad. Their offensive line is pretty beat up as well. These dudes aren't practicing at all. I think our defense is going to be a big key in this game moving forward, but having that beat up a little bit is going to be a big help for us. Other than that, everybody else on this list is going to play. So let's go ahead and jump into their depth chart real quick. They got Drew Lock. Drew Lock has won 3 of his last 4 games. He beat the Chargers. He beat the Texans. He put up almost 40 points on the Texans, and they beat the Lions. The Chiefs went out there and straight up put them in their place. So, 3 out of 4 coming in there for a rookie quarterback is not a bad record. We need to watch out for him. In 2 of those 3 wins that he has, he's been over 300 yards. One game he was close to hitting 400. So we cannot sleep on Drew Lock. He will go out there. We've seen our freaking secondary scorched by damn near every quarterback we've played this season. Do not want to see that shit against Drew Lock. We have to set the tone in this game, and it has to come early from our pass rush. They got Lindsey out there. He's played better the past few weeks, but he's had a rough season. He's not the biggest back, so I think we should be able to handle their running game fairly easy this game. It's going to come down to Drew Lock in that receiver game. Sutton, we all know Sutton, dude. I'm not going to lie. I like this kid. I fucking hate the Broncos, but I like this kid. He's big. He's young. He's fast as shit. I do not know how he got passed over for the Pro Bowl. I think it's just the team that he's on. If he was on any other team, I guarantee he'd be in there. We need to watch out for him. He is a major, major weapon on this offense. Hamilton's a speed dude. Patrick's another speed dude. We have trouble with that, man. Especially if we're going to be playing our second and third string safeties all game. Give it up to Lawson. I don't know if Lawson, I really like him. I like him a lot. I think he's going to end up having a pretty big game. I think you're going to see a lot of nicks in this game. Like I said, I want to see Isaiah Johnson really, really bad this game. But they got a lot of speed out there. They got a lot of size out there. Those are 2 things that do hurt us. But if we can shut down the running game completely, I think we'll be able to play back a little bit. I think we need to play man this game. I think we have to play man. I'm not going to say need. We have to play man straight up this game and just see how it works out. They got Noah Fant. Noah's a rookie. He's been turning it on again these past few weeks. It's all coming off a lock, picking up these other players. We've all talked about that shit for a while, how quarterbacks bring players up. Everybody's rising up to play around this kid, so we need to be careful. The offensive line, like I said, is pretty beat up. And then we all know this defense. But they got Chris Harris Jr. That's what's going to suck. If we don't have a number 1 receiver in Ty Williams out there, they're going to be able to field or just kind of put Chris Harris as a roamer out there. And that is the last shit you want to see. Because then you have Chris Harris out there who's kind of covering a receiver that he knows is like a Keelan Doss or an Aitman, and at the same time he's playing like a secondary safety position, and he's able to spy the run. So that shit's going to kill us. That is going to hurt bad. We are going to need our boys to step up tremendously, especially in that receiving game. Let's go ahead and jump into this. Carr's going to have a big, big game. It's going to come down to him this game. I'm not even going to lie. It's going to be Carr in our defense. That's what's going to win us this game. I think Josh Jacobs, pretty sure he's going to play, but I really think he's going to end up having more of a limited role, especially after how good Washington did last week. But I think if he's ready to go, we will see him out there. I see him getting a good probably 15 to 17 carries and probably 2 or 3 catches. And I see Washington probably end up getting about 10 to 12 carries this game. And then Jalen just doing his third down thing out there. Ty Williams, dude needs to play. Rico Gafford, I don't see it. I do not see it. He had that one big play like every person we bring onto this team, and then he just kind of disappeared. I like him on special teams. I like him in the return game. I don't know if he's going to make that big of a difference in the passing offense. We'll have Renfro. That's huge. You see how Carr responds having him on the field. But if you have Renfro, Doss, Aitman, and Zay Jones, at that point we're pretty much counting on Zay Jones to go out there and just play the game of his life. I do not see that shit happening. I'm sorry. If you follow this channel, I am not a Zay Jones fan. I think he's a dude that's pretty much just filling a spot right now. He's not really contributing a shitload to this team. Everybody's like, well, dude, we still got Waller, and he's a tight end, but he's actually a receiver. And he is. He's a tight end, or he's a receiver that's playing the tight end position, but he still lines up in that tight end position the majority of the time. And that limits the routes that he can run. Plus, he has to block on certain plays, whether it's a pass or not, because there's a few play actions where he's in there and he's just blocking just to kind of sell the run even more. So you need to watch out for that. I get what you're saying. I wish we'd line Waller up on the outside, but that shit's not going to happen. We need him on the inside making those plays because that's one of the big things that's pushing Jacobs. So, yes, he is a receiver, but he is a tight end. So you have to be wary of that. We're still missing that dude on the outside. And I will beat that into your brains until the end of this season and until we get a number one dude out there. Our offensive line, Incognito, I don't know if he's going to play, but that's okay. But we cannot have him and Gabe Jackson gone. That's going to suck for us. Move on to the defense. Markel Lee, back on the IR. Really think this is the end of him as a Raider. It sucks to say. I really, really like this kid, but he cannot stay healthy. It will not happen for him. So I will go ahead and say this now, going into the final week of the season. Markel Lee, thank you for your time served. I truly do appreciate it. I really hope you stay a Raider. I truly, truly do. But if you do not, thanks for the games that you did play. This dude has so much potential, and I know we're going to end up getting rid of him, and it's going to piss me off. But our defensive line, we brought in Jeremiah. Gunther talked about him a little bit earlier. He was pretty much just saying that we brought him in we had the ability to bring him in. We were able to take a look at him. We'll end up bringing him into the OTAs in the offseason and just taking a further look there. So he's probably going to end up being a scratch. I think Olsen, honestly, will end up being a scratch, but they might end up playing him just to kind of have him as a depth guy out there. But Max Crosby and Farrell are going to have to step up this game. We are going to have to get pressure on Locke. We got to just... I don't care who it is. If you're a rookie, somebody's out there and they're getting after your ass the entire game, you're going to make mistakes. You're going to turn the ball over, and that is what we are going to need this game. Hall and Hurst need to end up playing a pretty big game. I think we'll have Hankins out there. I think Hankins is going to end up being a major part of why we shut down Phillip Lindsay so easily this game. But then it comes down to our trouble situation of our linebackers. And if they start throwing the ball to their running backs out of the backfield... I mean, I know I say this shit every single week, and every single week they do it to us and we get exploited by it. But Whitehead played better last week, played pretty damn good in coverage. Gunther was saying that the secondary is really starting to understand the coverages and the changes that need to be made, and I really think we saw that last week, so I'm hoping that carries over. I think Compton needs to play like he played again, give him that green dot again, let him get out there. He was calling the right defenses. He was having people in the right place, and he ended up getting 12 total tackles. That is what you need out of a fucking middle linebacker. So I was super happy to see that. Morrow, dude, I'll tell you, I was high on Morrow at the beginning of the season. We all were. We were all talking about, Morrow just keeps doing what he's doing. He's going to end up being excellent. That dude has fucking disappeared completely. It is pissing me off. He needs to show up. He needs to play big this week. Because... we need to handle our business this game or nothing else fucking matters. And then we get into our secondary. This is going to be tough. If Joyner's out, it's going to hurt. But I really want to see Nixon step up. I really want to see Isaiah Johnson come out there and play a damn good game because I really think he has it in him. I think Worley's going to be bouncing around a good bit. I don't think he's going to end up playing that true corner spot the entire game. I think you're going to see Johnson in there, and you're going to see him in the nickel. And they were talking about him playing the dime linebacker. He did that one or two plays last week. I'll take that because in that dime linebacker position, he can keep up with a running back out of the backfield. I think we should be running that way more often than we actually are right now. And there he is. I know a lot of people said Derek Carr. He played great last week, but his attitude was completely different, completely different. And that's kind of why I think he was blowing smoke when he said that he knew that we were out of contention for the playoffs and it was a shock to him. I think that was complete bullshit coming out of him. You could tell that he was playing with a different kind of intensity last week, and I really think that's going to carry over into this game. I do not want to finish this season tied with the Broncos. Because if the fucking Broncos beat us, then we end this season with the same record they have, and we'll both be 7-9. I don't want that shit. I want to be 8-8. I want them to be 6-10, and I want us to be second place in this division, showing that we've moved up. We've moved past those two teams, and we're targeting the fucking Chiefs, and that's the only thing that we're after right now. I think Carr's going to step up. I think you guys are going to see another good game out of him. I really think it's going to be a good performance out of him. I think he's going to come out there. I'm not going to say he's going to throw for over 300 yards or do anything crazy, especially if he doesn't have Ty Williams. And for as much as you guys hate it, he just needs to go out there and control this game and be the field manager. Work those long drives. Keep the time of possession. And I know this goes against everything I say, but when you're playing against a rookie quarterback, that's pretty much what you have to do, because we have to lock down this game with no further injuries. But like I said, Denver they can't do it all the time, but they have the ability to be explosive out there and put up a few quick points. So it's going to be one of those games where we just have to completely control it, and then when we do have scoring opportunities, we have to capitalize on them. Whether, I don't care if it's a field goal or a touchdown, but we have to get down the field, we have to eat clock, and we have to score every damn time we have this. We can't have any bullshit turnovers. You know we're going to have our bullshit penalties. That's going to happen. But let me know what you guys think. I truly do appreciate it. Everybody that tunes in for these. I'm still hyped up. I'm still hoping we got this. I really think everything else can fall into place, but we just need to get through this game and just get this victory and let everybody see that we're moving to Vegas, but we're still a solid-ass team, and we got some big things happening this offseason. I appreciate everybody. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'm Sun Joku. We will catch you guys next time.